Imagine, you're watching the biggest football tournament on earth. The FIFA World Cup. Millions of fans are holding their breath. The score is still level. Then, a single moment changes football forever. The referee points to the center circle. The goal counts. The crowd explodes. But television cameras reveal something unbelievable. The ball never touched the player's head. It touched his hand. This is the incredible story of the most controversial goal in FIFA World Cup history. The year was 1986. Mexico was hosting one of the greatest FIFA World Cups ever. Among all the matches, one stood above the rest. Argentina versus England. This wasn't just another quarterfinal. Only 4 years earlier, Argentina and the United Kingdom had fought the Falklands War. Thousands of lives had been affected. Although football and politics are different, emotions surrounding this match were impossible to ignore. For millions of supporters, winning meant much more than simply reaching the semifinals. The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric. Every pass, every tackle, every challenge, was greeted with enormous emotion from both sets of fans. The first half ended without a goal. Neither team was willing to make a mistake. Then, only 6 minutes into the second half, history was made. A high ball floated toward England's penalty area. England goalkeeper Peter Shilton charged forward confidently. He expected to punch the ball clear. At exactly the same moment, Argentina's captain leapt into the air. Everyone watching believed he was trying to head the ball. But something else happened. Using his left hand, he punched the ball just enough to send it over the goalkeeper. The ball rolled into the net. For a second, everything stopped. England's defenders immediately raised their arms. They surrounded the referee. They shouted that it was handball. From their angle, it looked obvious, but there was a huge problem. This was 1986. There was no VAR, no slow motion review, no goal line technology, no extra officials behind the goal. The referee looked toward his assistant referee. After a brief moment, the assistant signaled that the goal was valid. The referee pointed toward the center circle. Goal. Argentina celebrated wildly. England stood in complete disbelief. The television replay quickly spread around the world. Millions of viewers clearly saw the handball. Yet, the decision could no longer be changed. For many fans, it became football's greatest injustice. But the story didn't end there. Only 4 minutes later, the same player received the ball inside his own half. What happened next shocked the entire football world once again. He dribbled past one defender. Then another. Then another. England tried everything to stop him. 5 defenders were beaten. The goalkeeper rushed forward. With incredible composure, he rounded the goalkeeper and calmly rolled the ball into the empty net. Many football experts still describe it as the greatest goal ever scored in World Cup history. Think about that for a moment. In the same match, the same player scored football's most controversial goal and football's most beautiful goal. Very few athletes have ever created such a dramatic contrast in only a few minutes. Years later, when journalists asked him about the first goal, his answer became legendary. He smiled and said, "It was a little with the head, and a little with the hand of God." Those few words became one of football's most famous quotes. Even today, nearly 40 years later, fans continue to argue. Some believe it was cheating. Others believe it was intelligence. Some say the referee made the biggest mistake in World Cup history. Others simply accept it as part of football. Whatever side you choose, one thing is impossible to deny. Without that moment, football history would never be the same. One leap, one touch, one whistle, and one decision that the world is still debating decades later.